Okay, or two.
Bhante, first, I'm requesting for forgiveness. Asavandami Bhante, Dwaratayena Mayam Kattam Sabhamaparadham Kamatu Me Bhante, Dutiyampi Okasavandami Bhante, Dwaratayena Mayam Kattam Sabhamaparadham Kamatu Me Bhante, Tatiyampi Okasavandami Bhante, Dwaratayena Mayam Kattam Sabhamaparadham Kamatu Me Bhante.
Okay, or two.
Now, formal request for precept.
Okay.
Okas ahang bhante, tisaranena sah ajiva atthamagang silang dhammang yachami, anugahang katva silang dethame bhante, dutiyampi okas ahang bhante, tisaranena sah ajiva atthamaga silang dhammang yachami, anugahang katva silang dethame bhante. Tatiyampi okas ahang bhante, tisaranena sah ajiva atthamaga silang dhammang yachami, anugahang katva silang dethame bhante.
Dhamma vadami tamvadeta.
Nam bhante.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Buddha saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami.
Buddhang saranang gacchami, dhammang saranang gacchami, sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tutiyampi Buddha saranam gacchami, Tutiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchami, Tutiyampi Sangham saranam gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi Buddha saranam gacchami, Tatiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchami, Tatiyampi Sangham saranam gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tisarana kamanam paripurnam.
Ambante.
Continue.
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adinnadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Kamesu michchāchāra veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musāvādā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Tunavācā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Pisunavācā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Parusāvācā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Samphalapavācā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Micchā ājivā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
To Metta Bhavana or Rapayotami, Sabbe Saddha,
Sabbe satta
Avera Hondu,
avera hontu
Abhyabacha Hondu,
abhyapacha hotu
Aniga Hondu,
anega hontu
Sukhi Adana,
sukhiyadana
Pariharantu,
hariharantu
Sabbe Diva,
sabbe jiva
Avera Hondu,
avera hontu
Abhyabacha Hondu,
abhyapacha hontu
Aniga Hondu,
anega hontu
Sukhi Adana,
sukhiyadana
Pariharantu,
hariharantu
Sabbe Manusa,
sabbe manusa
Avera Hondu,
avera hontu
Abhyabacha Hondu,
abhyapacha hotu
Aniga Hondu,
anega hontu
Sukhi Adana,
sukhiyadana
Pariharantu,
hariharantu
Itambe Punya,
idammi punyam
Savakhaya,
asavakhayam
Vaham Hotu,
aham hotu
Itambe Silam,
idammi silang
Nibbanasa,
nibbanassa
Pachayo Hotu,
pachayo hotu
Pisaranena Sa Ajiva Tamaka Silam, Dhamma Sadhukam Kadawa Apamatena Sampatita.
sadhu sadhu sadhu.
Okay, today and start. I can start.
Yes, Bhante.
Okay, today 2nd December 2021. The first day of retreat. Okay. Devotee from India, Dhamma Mangala. Group devotees. Already arranged retreat many times. Today we start another retreat again. For 1 month retreat. So Buddha admonished in Mangala Sutta. Mangala Sutta means the pleasant Sutta. Everybody can accumulate many blessings in their daily life. Apama docha dhammesu etam mangala mottama. The meaning is not to be negligence on doing good deeds is a noble blessings. Now, in order to get the blessing in daily life, our devotees accumulate many wholesome kusala activities. Dana, charity, sila, morality, bhavana, meditation. Altogether, there are 10 wholesome kusala deeds, 10 meritorious deeds. In the Abhidhamma, certain Abhidhamma Tasinaha, they also mention 10 wholesome kusala deeds, 10 meritorious deeds. 10 meritorious deeds mean dana, sila, bhavana, apachayana, vayavacha, patidhana, patanumodana, dhammasavana, dhammadesana, detichukama. The dana, you already know, charity. Charity earns given. Sila, observing 5 precepts, 8 precepts, 10 precepts, 10 moral precepts. Now, Dhamma Mangalam devotee groups today observe Ajivatamaka Sila. Also include 5 precepts. That's morality. Bhavana, meditation, practice. Samatha Bhavana, Vipassana Bhavana. Both tranquility and insights. Meditation. Apachayana. Apachayana means reverence to elders and holy persons. The meaning is paying respect to those who are worthy of it. That's the apachayana. Vyavacha, the service on wholesome deeds. During this retreat, also you need to do a lot of service for the Dhamma activities. That's Vyavacha. Patidana, according to our Buddhist traditions, not only accumulate wholesome karma. After accumulating wholesome karma, we need to do sharing merit. We share our wholesome merit to have the benefit for other living beings. Sharing of merit. That is called patidana. Another is patanumodana. So every Buddhist people, after accumulating wholesome karma, they sharing of merit. In the same way, the other person also rejoicing in other merits, rejoicing in other merits and saying, well done, sadhu, sadhu. And that is called Pata Numodana. That is also wholesome kusala deeds, meritorious deeds. Another is Dhammasara. Dhammasara means occasionally listening to the doctrine, listening to the Dhamma. That is also not only meritorious deeds, that's also the higher blessings. In the Mangala Sutta also, Buddha mentioned, Kalena Dhammasara, Eta Mangala Muttama. In the suitable time, listening Dhamma talk also called the highest blessings. Now, during retreat periods, you invite many Bhante, many teachers to listen to Dhamma talk. That is also wholesome kusalati. Dhamma savana. Dhamma desana. So expounding the Dhamma. So giving Dhamma talk, sharing our Dhamma knowledge to other people, that's called Dhamma desana. Another meritorious deed, wholesome kusala is called Deiti Ju Kama. Deiti Ju Kama means straightening one's views. Having faith in karma and yet reset. That's called Deiti Ju Kama. Altogether, 10 meritorious deeds, 10 wholesome kusala deeds. Now you already participate in retreat many times already. Today also studying meditation retreat. Okay. During this retreat periods also, you may accumulate these wholesome kusala deeds, 10 wholesome kusala deeds. So these 10 meritorious deeds, here we divide, there are three groups: Dana group, Sila group, Bhavana group. 10 meritorious deeds, I have already mentioned: Dana, Sila, Bhavana, Apachayana, Vyavacha, Patidana, Patanumodana, Dhammasara, Dhamma desana, Deiti Ju Kama. All together 10. There are 3 groups: Dana group, Sila group, Bhavana group. So mountain meritorious deeds: Dana, charity; Patidana, sharing merit; Patanumodana, rejoicings in other merits. These 3 are Dana group. Dana, Patidana, Patanumodana. These 3 are Dana group. Sila group, Sila, observing morality. Abhachayana, reverence, reverence to elders and holy person. Abhachayana, Sila, Abhachayana, Vyavecha, volunteer service for wholesome kusala. These three are Sila group. Bhavana group, Bhavana means meditations, Samatha Vipassana Bhavana, Bhavana, Dhammasara, listening Dhamma or Dhamma Desana, sharing Dhamma knowledge, Tetiju Karma, straightening one's view. These four are Bhavana group. So 10 meritorious tips, 3 groups of wholesome kusala marriage. Today you accumulate. So our Buddha also admonished to accumulate wholesome Dhamma. In the summary which I have already mentioned to you. Pamado Madam Badam. Pamado Michuno Badam. Apamada Naviyanti. Jipamada Yatamada. Without mindfulness, you may not easily to accumulate wholesome Dhamma. Because of foundations of mindfulness, now you can accumulate many wholesome kusala merits. Dana, charity, sila, morality, bhavana, meditation. You have already accumulated many times also. Without mindfulness, you may not easily find many people have their own duty and their family duties, many jobs they need to do in their daily life. Although they are very busy with the daily activities, their negligence and wholesome accumulate wholesome kusala merit. These are based by mindfulness, sati. Because of this, the Buddha encouraged. Apamado amadam badam. Amado michuno badam. Abamada namiyandi. Yepamada yatamada. Apamado amadam badam. Mindfulness is the way to the deathless Nibbana. This mindfulness sati is the way to the deathless Nibbana. Now, our main reason to practice meditation, to accumulate wholesome karma, is to realize Nibbana, to reach the way of deathless. If we want to reach the way of the deathless, if we want to realize Nibbana, we should accumulate mindfulness in our daily life. Because mindfulness is the way to the deathless. Mindfulness only can lead all of you to realize Nibbana in our daily life. Because of this, every time, every day, in our daily life, we need to develop mindfulness sati, apamada. Apamado amadam badam. Pamado mechuno badam. Apamada namiyanti. Yebamada yatamada. The opposite word is pamado mechuno badam. And mindfulness is the way to the death. So many people, they don't want to be dying. Although they don't want to be dying, they are unmindfulness. They are negligence to accumulate wholesome karma. That is the way to the death. If we don't want to die, if we want to reach the way to the deathless, we need to accumulate wholesome karma. We should not negligence to accumulate these 10 wholesome practices. Because pamado machuno badam. The Buddha admonished, and mindfulness is the way to the death. Apamata namiyanti ye pamata yatamata. Those who are mindful do not die. Those who are not and mindful are exist as if already dead. So we should mindful. In the Makadeva, they are also mentioned one statement. For the person who has been mindfully accumulate 10 wholesome kusala deeds, just now I have already mentioned 10 wholesome kusala deeds, Dhamma, Sila, Bhavana. For the person who has been mindfully accumulating 10 wholesome kusala deeds, it is not difficult for him to be reborn in a good, fortunate ways. So if we want to reborn in the good realms, good lives, human lives, Deva lives, Dhamma lives, to realize Nibbana, we should accumulate wholesome kusala deeds with mindfulness. So we should accumulate mindfully these wholesome kusala deeds. For the person who accumulate mindfully wholesome kusala deeds, it is not difficult for him to reborn in the good realms. So the opposite meaning is for the person who negligence to perform wholesome kusala deed, he is already as good as dead, even while alive. In the Makadeva, the statement explanation are according to Buddha admonishment, these samavali vitu, pamado matam padam. So we need to understand this mindfulness and negligence. And the mindfulness is the way to be deathless. Negligence is the way to be dead. We need to understand in our daily life. We should not negligence to accumulate wholesome Dhamma because we don't want to old, we don't want to sick, we don't want to die. We don't want to reborn in the wuhu realms. Because of this, we should accumulate wholesome kusala mindfulness. We need to understand, according to the Buddha explanation, be heedless and negligence. This person often forgot about carrying out wholesome kusala deeds. Because of this lack of efforts to accumulate wholesome Dhamma, he will continue to reborn in the endless of rebirth, samsara, with no clear and nibbana insight. As he will continue to meet death, life after life for a very long time, he is leading a life which is as close as death. On the other hand, the person who always mindfully and heedful will be continuously performing the 10 wholesome kusala deeds. I have already mentioned, such as Dana, Sila, Bhavana, Isra. These wholesome karma will support him to reborn in the human or Deva realms in the future. Depending on whether he is reborn in human realms or Deva realms, his external forms and appear may change. However, due to his strong mindfulness, the inner peace and happiness in his mind will remain unchanged regardless of his form of existence. The mindfulness will also accumulate wholesome karma in our daily. This mindfulness will also support him to continue to accumulate increasing more wholesome kusala deeds, such as Dana, Sila, Bhavana, Isra. He will mindfully and diligently practice samatha concentration Vipassana insight meditation. So before we practice samatha vipassana, also need to observe morality, sila. So for those persons, if they accumulate wholesome karma mindfully, he will eventually attain ultimate goal of nibbana. At that time, he will experience the stage of deathless. There will be no more birth, and so he will not die anymore. If we are still reborn in the samsara, although we don't want to die, we have to die. Although we don't want to sick, we have to sick. You see, these are very suffering. They may suffer a lot of people, this sickness. So although we don't want to die, we have to die. That's the nature of samsara. So in order to overcome from the samsara, in order to realize, we need to accumulate wholesome kusalatis, mindfulness. Even the animals, they should die, even the animal lives, because of accumulate wholesome karma mindfully. This mindfulness make a lot of benefit in present and in futures. I will explain you one story in ancient India. Once upon a time, there was a small parrot. Parrot means small bird, stay in one of nunnery in ancient India. The small parrot was given the names as Buddha Ratita. You may know this story. This story happened in ancient India. One day, a nun teach these parrots to practice meditation. The object is to contemplate the body as a skeleton. Skeleton with passive meditations. So in the samatha meditation, you may see among 40 samatha meditation, this skeleton vipassana meditation also includes vipassana nature. And the Matsipana Sutta also Buddha explained Ati Patikula Manasikara. So this nun, this bhikkhuni, teach this meditation subjects to this parrot, small bird. So the little parrots always keep reflecting. He made reflection and call out Ati, Ati, skeleton, skeleton, and this way, repeatedly. He contemplate this skeleton, vipassana objects repeatedly. One day, the small parrot was reflecting his body as skeleton in the open space. At the time, one eagle flying down from the sky and snapped to the parrots, crashed to these parrots. Fortunately, the nun saw this and she made a loud noise. The little parrot was released and safe. So at the time, this bhikkhuni asked to these parrots, when you were caught, what were you thinking of, little bird? At the time, the bird said, I was contemplating on the skeletons. I was holding onto the reflection of skeletons. Very wonderful. Mr. Diba. Not very easy.
Yes,
The eagle snapped even the catch to this parrots. Although he faced to die, he's not scary because he always, this parrots always reflect, only contemplate the skeleton vipassana meditation. You may see in ancient time, the Kuru country, many people, they contemplate a lot of mindfulness meditation. In India, in your country, that's a very famous history, very famous story in ancient India. According to this tradition, the Dhamma group may study and devotees accumulate wholesome Dhamma. That's according to the Asian tradition in India. Many people accumulate a lot of mindfulness, meditation. Even the animals, you see, although it faces to die, these parrots not scary because always it keeps a meditation subject. His meditation subject is skeleton repulsiveness meditation. So at the time, so this parasite, I was contemplating on the skeleton. I was working on the reflection of skeleton. At the time, the nun said, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. You should keep this meditation object with you continuously. Then in your future lives, you may be able to realize Nibbana. This bhikkhuni encouraged to this parrot, to this part. The small parrot also accumulate, contemplate this skeleton meditation until before that moment. During that hours, he remember this object. That's not easy because of daily it contemplates mindfully, continuously, because of the even before that moment, can pay attention to this object easily. So our devotee also, we need to remember about this case. We need to understand. Because we can die anytime, we don't know. So if we always mindfully accumulate one meditation object, we will pay attention objects. So although we may face, we may happen some accidents case or like that, so we can pay attention to object easily, wholesome object easily. So these parents also, and during that moment, that hours, we remember these skeleton objects because he always keep this meditation object. Skeleton vipassana, ati particular. So he was reborn after pass away. He was reborn in human beings in Sri Lanka. You see, the Dhamma is very wonderful. Sri Lanka, reborn in Sri Lanka. Later, he became a monk. Ancient Sri Lanka also there are many Mahathira or Handa Mahathira, very famous. Since King Asaka sent missionary to Sri Lanka, Sona Bhumi, including Myanmar, Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos. Since at the time, King Asaka sent missionary to many countries. So at the time in Sri Lanka also Buddha Sasana spread. So in this previous times, so this Makala, he reborn in the human beings and he became a monk. And also because of previous life in the animal lives, because of contemplate a lot of mindfulness meditation. So when he reborn in the Sri Lanka, he still continues to practice the same meditation objects. And finally, he attained Nibbana to become Arahant. So this mindfulness is very, very important in our human lives. Also, this Buddha admonished, mindfulness is the way to the deathless Nibbana. Abhamando amadam badam, Bhamando michuno badam, Abhamada namiyandi, Ye bhamada yatamada, Bhikkhave yahando mya uchadado, Abhamado, Buddha says unai namimale ojindi, Amadam badam, Madhyama Nibbana yao chao ijingong bedi, Bhamado, Buddha says unai meleo jindi, Michuno, Chadi Magin dea jinya, Batang jang dea bedi, Abhamada namiyandi, Ye Bamada Yatamada Ye Jendudi Abamada Guru says Unai Meliojin Shija Lego E Dedo Guru says Unai Meliojin Shija Le Pugudodi Mada Dedo Dodi Mundi Yata Pija Pundakedo Abamada Guru says Unai Meliojin Shija Le Pugudodi Nami Yandi Mecha Bawa Mapoya Yue Edo Kamya Madi Jaya Bidu Apamado Amadam Badam. Mindfulness is the way to the deathless Nibbana. Pamado Michuno Badam. And mindfulness is the way to the death. Apamada Nami Yandi. Ye Bamada Yadamada. Those who are mindful do not die. Those who are not mindful are, as is already dead. So according to the Buddha teachings, even the animals, if they accumulate Kosam Kusala, mindfully in their daily life, that Kosam Kusala marriage will lead the way to be deathless Nibbana. All devotees also enduring 30 periods, you may accumulate Kosam Kama with the mindfulness sati. May this Kosam Kusala marriage, Dana, observing morality, Sila, practicing meditation, Bhavana, this Kosam Kusala marriage be the main cause to attain Nibbana. May all you will practice the Buddha teachings, Sila, Samadhi, Panya, step by step, until to realize Nibbana very soon. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sad, sad, sad.
Okay, only short matter.
Yes,
any question?
काही प्रश्न आहेत का कोणाचे? There is no question, Bhante.
Okay. Brother, I will make conclusion when we study Jaya Mangala Tata. After that, we do share the merit. Jayanto Bodhiya Mule Sajananandi Odano Ewa Mewa Jaya Hodu Jaya Sujaya Mangale Sajana Sagive Menyodo E Nandi Odano Sinalongo Shem Byozi Dayamyadi Bodhiya Bodhi Be Mule Nida Queen Shadi Aparajita Palentanai Jayando Mana Bago All Min Lady Dagedo Ewa Mewa Ewon Data Bamata Yudo Adu Edo Magan All Sadi Mudago the Campaya Shimbo Jilenyo Nu Shiu Banja Nimbareza Bondo A Jayo Jadi King Dizonya Jendi Potu Mocha Madwe Pipavi Jaya Mangale Meya Shangwa Aunyan Shina Mingalaja Edo Maga Ang Sindi Mudu the King Paya Shimbu Jilenyo Nu Shiu Banja Nimbarita Bondo A Jaya Su Jadirago Nizindu Yue Kao Yu Pisi Amin Naija Bazi Go Dadi Sadhu. May you be successful in your daily activity and meditation practice in this very life to realize Nibbana. Sadhu.
Okay, Bhante.
To share in merit, all of the outcome.
Yeah.
Today you have already accumulated Manipu Sankusa marriage, Dana Sila Bhavana, based in the Dhamma thought, practice the meditation. So You can make the wishes that maybe through some Islam marriage be the main cause to attain Nibbana. In order that we do the sharing merit, all of the outcome. Idam me punya,
Idam me punyam
asavakaya,
asavakayam
wahang hodu.
vahang hotu.
Idam me punya,
Idam me punyam
Nibbanasa,
nibbanasa
pachayo,
pachayo
hodu.
hotu.
Idam me punya bhagam,
Idam me punya bhagam
sabba sadanam,
sabba sattanam
Pachimi,
pachemi
Desabe,
te sabbe
Mesama,
me samam
Punya Bhagam,
punya bhagam
Labantu,
labhantu
Sadhu,
sadhu
Sadhu, Sadhu.
sadhu sadhu. Thank you very much, Bhante,
Sadhu,
for
sadhu.
coming.
For three, how many days? 1 month or 2 months?
One month, Bhante.
Okay. Okay. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Yes.
Okay, come continue. Huh? Sadhu, sadhu. Super.
Yes, Bhante. Yes.